Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're catching us from. We are so delighted to have you here with us. I am so happy. It's been a long while since we came through with a webinar, but Hannah, the financial coach, has come to speak to us from wells of wisdom. She has 16 years experience in teaching about finances. She has seen these finances work in her own life. So it's not stories, it's not theory. She actually is certified as an accountant and has lived through it through her life. So as we begin, I really just want to thank you for being here with us. And as we start this financial clinic with Hannah, I pray that you give us your attention, give us your hearing, be with us all through, and may the Lord bless you. We are starting right now. Thank you so much, Hannah. Karibu to stage.
Um, Dr. Jem, it's a great pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us in the different continents. It's a great honor to be able to teach you about personal financial planning. It's something that is very dear to me and it's within my purpose to help people better their finances. And it's a great honor and a pleasure. Dr. Jem, maybe you can just highlight some of the organizations that I have recently trained in this year. It's
Right now.
awesome. It's something I love teaching people about finances to better themselves, how to get passive income, how to manage your finances and do better for individuals and organization. It's the next slide. Dr. Jem? Yeah, that's just a brief of few organizations that I've taught recently, and this can be used soon if you have a community or a group of people you'd like them to learn more about personal finances. Please reach out. My handle is Hannah the Financial Coach. Across Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, we can engage further. Now, let us begin this beautiful journey of why financial planning is important. What exactly is financial planning? This is you as an individual trying to see how to manage the finances that you have to properly manage it because there is no other finances that is going to come your way. So it is of your best interest that you take care of whatever the Lord has been able to bestow you with so that it can be able to help you for many days. Now, you need to know one thing, that every finance that you have is supposed to help four generations within you, and the first generation that is supposed to help is it's supposed to help the generation that is your parents, the generation that was before you. That is the purpose of your financial planning. You need to know the generations of every coin that you have, who it is meant for. So the first generation is honor your father and mother, because that is the commandment with a promise, and it shall go well with you. There's a financial breakthrough you'll never get until you honor where you have come from. Honor, take care of them as you're able to, and I'll be able to show you to what percentage you're supposed to help and honor your parents with. The second bit is supposed to be yourself. Take care of yourself and the nuclear family so that they may be able to have something to get to be able to eat from. Then the third generation you're supposed to take care of is your children. That is, your wealth should leave an inheritance to your children and your children's children. Those are four generations that you're supposed to be used through your finances. Now, how are you able to take care of all this generation is through vision. You have to take care of your vision. um, when you have a vision, you'll be able to know who you're responsible for. If you just take care of your finances as you're the only one who will enjoy, you realize that you will be able to harm your future by not getting a clear ground on who you're taking care of. So understand you have four generations that are depending on every cent that you earn. And when you have a vision for your life, it will be able to advise your finances. Why? If you do not have a vision, you'll not be held responsible and you'll not be able to grow and you'll not be able to focus. But when you have a vision, of what your finances is supposed to help you with, you'll be able to see your money growing for you and taking care of you. Now, how do you do a financial health check? Before the financial health check, you need to start from today, create a financial diary. This is where you keep all the visions you have for your money, how you want to see your money growing. In addition to that, where you want to go with your money. So have a financial diary from today, which is different from your spiritual diary and your dream diary. Have a financial diary. Then let's now go to in length to the financial health check and what that contains for you. The first thing you need to check in your financial health check is, what are your financial goals? Your financial goals is, where do you want to see yourself? Now, when it comes to me as a coach and an advisor, I'll be able to help you arrange your life from where you currently are to a century, to 100 years. Why this is important for you is so that you can be able to maximize your money. You do not only eat for today, but you keep something for tomorrow, and the other tomorrow for four generations after you. So have your financial goals written down, where you see yourself in the next 10 years. Let's start 6 months. 6 months, because you have to take care of your emergency requirements. 6 months. And then a year and a half. Then we go to 3 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And definitely after 20 years, you're either at retirement or you're pre-retirement, just about there. So you need to have your financial goals written down. Then you need to know, what are your expenditure. If you don't know your expenditure, you'll realize that your income will not be able to be met by your expenses, or you'll find that your expenses are more than your income. So find out, what are your expenses and where your money is going. And then from your expenses, you need to categorize them into, are they really necessary? What are my basics? What are my bare minimum that I need to take care of? And what are my needs? And then what are my wants? The difference between that, basics is, these are you have to survive. These are your survival expenses, that without them you'll not be able to live where you are living, or to manage your family. Basics, completely basics. Then after basics, now they go to needs. Needs are like taking care of your shelter, the type of house, the schooling for your children, the medical for your family. Those are needs, because without taking care of those responsibility, you realize that you have to borrow money to be able to maintain your family. Then from your needs, you go to wants. What are the things that you desire for your family? Maybe now you upscale the residence that you're in, or you upscale the school that your children are going to. Now that goes to needs. However, we always want to start from a place of modesty. Then from a place of modesty, we're able to grow. But it's important to first manage your expenses modestly, so that you can be able to have income to invest. Then also see, do you always increase your expenses to match your pay rise? Any extra income you get, you must spend. It's very important to understand yourself, so that you don't find yourself using all your money in expenses. And then also understand, how much liability do you have? And these liabilities, where did they the loans, what financing were you using them for? Did you buy anything significant that is adding value to your family, or are they something that you bought and spent, so you're no longer having it? So you have to know the liabilities that you have, and if they're meaningful to you. If they're not meaningful, you come for debt counseling. We also do debt counseling. Debt counseling means we're able to reduce your loans, or we help you and teach you how you can be able to sell off those loans to be a better arrangement fitting your finances. And then also in your liability, to see if you have any development projects that are adding money back to your pockets to be able to grow you. Also, you need to check, where are you banking? How is your business performing? If you're into business, if you're not into business, in employment, how are you bettering your employment? What skill set are you increasing to better your income? And then also manage your cash flow. How your cash flow, who is taking care of those cash flows? Is it you, or are you paying through the bank to through standing orders? You need to understand where are you as a in terms of your finances. This will help you grow and know yourself. Now, you realize that many people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge or rejecting knowledge. But I am very happy to have you here today because you have come to learn. And you'll find that the education you're going to learn today is going to better you, because without education, ignorance is very expensive. And in law, we say ignorance is no defense. So please be very vigilant about learning how to take care of your own personal finances. In as much as we are coaches and advisors, you have a point to play by using that education to good use for you, because you realize in the next image where you're finding there's someone who is struggling to figure out their finances on their own, vis-a-vis if they had been able to be coached or advised to be able to see where best to place their money or where best to invest. They're able to move faster than you, who is grouping in the dark. You don't know left or right or where to start. So it's very important to get knowledge and be advised very well. Then you also need to know in your financial plan, where are you as a person? From the slide, you'll see there are different areas of our lives. When you are small, between the ages of 0 to 20, according to the photo on the screen, you'll see between the 0 to 20, you are learning yourself. You don't really know what is money and the value that money is bringing. So it's very important to be able to learn yourself, allow yourself to learn. But you realize as parents, because most of you who are watching are probably parents and over the age of 18, you realize that we really shield our children about learning about finances. But I will help you as a coach to understand, when you are young, between the age of 0 to 20, what are the responsibility as a child you can be able to understand about finances. Please carry your child to such opportunities about learning about finances. Take them also to your circle, help them learn, let them hear, so that they can be familiar with money. Also, when you give them pocket money, teach them how to budget their pocket money for any expenses that they may have. Let them even pay for their snacks when they are leaving the supermarket, so that they are familiar with money. When they become familiar with money, they'll manage it. If one does not have a healthy relationship with money, they'll not be able to keep money, because for them, they feel money is not theirs to keep. So you'll find they're always wanting to spend. That is, they feel like money is burning a hole in their pocket. So let your children be comfortable with money. You also need to be comfortable with money. So please be very careful about that stage, 0 to 20. Teach your children, and they'll be able to receive and learn. They are an empty sponge looking for information. Also, something I want to advise the parents, please. Um, there's a game called Monopoly. I love it very much. It helps you to earn. It is fake money. It's play money, and then from the play money, you can be able to buy asset in that Monopoly game. Play with your children. Help them to be able to get an understanding of what money is. It is a very nice, delicious game. And then when they're from the age of 20 to around 45, that is where they start earning, and they start to get responsibility in society. They start going to campus, and they're managing the help loan, or they're managing in the pocket money to be able to provide for their food, to buy books and what have you. Then after the campus, they get a job, then responsibility continue increasing. So it's very important that you understand where you are you in your money journey. Then after earning, you need to know how to preserve the earnings that you have to take care of your future, because you realize from the photo it's a young person. Then from the young person goes on to be the workforce. From the workforce, now it is the spending. Now you realize between the age of 20 to 55 you're earning. Then after 55, you start to be an active retiree. An active retiree at 55 means you have retired years from your employment income, but you still have the energy to do something that can be able to earn you money, and you'll also find you're also spending what you had kept for yourself as a retiree. So it's very important to balance all these phases of your life, because when you become a full retired at the age of 80, you cannot be able to do much. You have now to eat from what you had kept for yourself, and you should be able to eat and still preserve for the future, something for your children and children's children. So it's a balance, it's a delicate balance. Know thyself, know where you are, and when you know where you are and the gaps that are in your life, you'll be able to do better and add value for your income. Now, you realize when the year started, you are jumping from 2023 to 2024. And right now we're in the month of September. This is the ninth month. From the photo, as you see that man jumping, we were very excited with how the year started. You were joyous. You had very many hopes for the year, and so far you've been able to enjoy 8 pay slips, or 8 months pay slip. What have you done with those pay slips? And looking forward, we have 4 months to the end of the year. Have you been able to achieve your financial goals like you wanted? So it's very important to audit your life to better it. You realize in financial planning, we'll keep reiterating about where the stage of life you are in, so that you can be able to understand yourself. And I will request you to often make a date with yourself to do financial review every once a month. This will help you so that you can better budget for yourself and maximize your finances. Now, yet again, we are in the life cycle of the financial journey of your life. Where are you? When you look at that photo from the toddler, from the young girl that is there to the grandma, you realize that all these people are in your life. You may be one of them, yes, but there are people who you're responsible to take care of in their financial journey, and it's your responsibility to teach them on what it entails, so that they can have um, a better enjoyment of their finances. All right. Dr. Jem, um, we are looking at the levels of financial status. Now, when you're having finances, you need to know the financial status you are. Just like Dr. Jem treats her patients, she needs to know, and we'll ask you a number of questions to be able to see what test to be able to send you. Now, even as financial coaches, we're able to ask you certain questions to determine the financial status that you are, to see if you're in ICU, HDU, general ward, or you're just a day review, you go back home. Now, you see the levels of financial status are in different colors. The most critical is the emergency situation. This is so harsh for your household. This one is a red, 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 red light. Emergency situation means you expenses exceed your salary income or your business income that you pay yourself. Now, if you're in business, you need to pay yourself a salary so that you can be able to work with and budget for it. So, if your expenses exceed your salary income, it means you're in an emergency situation. You cannot afford yourself, unfortunately. That means you have to borrow to be able to meet the gap, and this one is not sustainable. You have to get out of that situation urgently. So from the emergency situation, we go to a bad situation. Bad situation means the expenses are equal to your income, meaning every income you get, you eat all of it. There's nothing left for tomorrow. That one will give you a lot of anxiety. Emergency and bad situation will give you a lot of anxiety, because you cannot plan for your future and you cannot be able to grow yourself. So when you move from emergency situation, come to a bad situation. You are trying, but you're not yet there. Then from the bad situation, we go to a good situation, which is temporary. It's also not sustainable. This is when your expenses are slightly below your income. And through the emergency bad and good situation, one of the ways to be able to better yourself are two ways. You increase your income, or you significantly reduce your expenses so that you can be able to have an amount to be able to save and to be able to invest for the future. Otherwise, when you eat everything, you are doing a disservice to the three other generations that are depending on you. Your father and mother, honor your father and mother in the Lord, take care of your children, and take care of your children's children, leaving an inheritance for them. So, the ideal situation of financial independence is when your expenses are way, 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 way below your asset income. And this is what we all need to achieve, where we can be able to have saved enough even to sustain ourselves when we are transitioning for a number of months. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment section in the chat. We'll be able to get back to you at the end of the show. All right. The next one, we need to analyze your current status. After you have seen the level of financial you are, we next go to analyze your current situation. You need to know your net worth. Your net worth is, you take all your expenses, know how much you have, and then try and identify where the leaks are. That means when you in the property you're currently right now, there is one tap that brings in water from the county council, and then from that one pipe, you realize the pipe distributes water to the different taps in your home. There's a tap in the kitchen, there's a tap in the bathroom, there's a tap in the toilet, in the bedrooms, depending on how your house is. Now, you need to close those taps in the different rooms so that you can be able to manage your water expenses. Same thing with income. When you get your income, it is one pipe. And then when it comes, it goes to take care of different expenditures in your life. So for you to be able to identify the one that is leaking or the one that is wasteful is by closing all of them to rectify. How you do this is by tracking your expenses. Anytime you spend money, write it down. Write it down so that you can know where your money is going. Then at the end of the month or at the end of a certain period, maybe it's 1 week or at the end of the day, you can be able to sit and analyze to find out, how have I spent my money. This will be able to advise, am I using it the right way or not? If you do not be accountable of how you're spending your money, you'll not be able to grow because you'll not have a definition of where your money is going, because you, as the owner of the money, you're supposed to give work to that money. You're supposed to direct the money where to go. But if you don't offer direction to that money for some reason will find its way out. So, one of the ways to be able to manage that is by having a budget to guide and control your expenditure. This means before you get your money, it's very important to first plan for it. It's like when you're building your home, you do not start by building the roof. You do not start by building the walls. No. You start by building the foundation and knowing how much the foundation will cost. After you have been able to determine how much it will cost, provide for the material, get the right skill that will be able to build that foundation. And then when you be able to have a strong foundation, the walls will be able to stand until you get to the apex of the roof. So it's your budget acts as a guide to control your expenditure and tell your money where to go. So before you get your money, plan for it, set up your financial goals, and then identify a plan to be able to achieve them and secure your investments. Now, your net worth. We are going to the net worth. You will find, after you have been able to know your expenses, your budget, and the financial goal, the next thing is we find out about your net worth. Now, how you know your net worth, where you're supposed to be, your net worth should ideally be 10% of your annual income. If your annual income is a million, 10% of a million is 100,000. That's an example. Multiply by your current age. That should be your net worth right now. This will help understand where your current financial position is so that you can compare. The net worth, the one that I have been able to guide you to calculate, is the ideal, your target, and then your current status will be all your assets. Assets mean money in the bank, money in the circle, money in the shares, money in bills and bonds, money in the investment and insurance policies, minus all the liabilities you have. Liabilities are all your debt. That is what how much you're worth. So you compare how much you should be and what you're worth, and then you work out the difference to be able to work it. Now, you for you to be able to get it right, you'll find in the pyramid, in the next pyramid, you'll find that you need to create active to passive income. Active means you have to be there for that income to be produced. So the ideal situation for everyone is always to create passive income where you do not have to have direct input to be able to get that income. So from your active income, try and create passive income and embark on solid investment. That is through investment policies with the insurance company, with buying land and actively producing from it through maybe hiring somebody there, buying a rental property and renting it out. So the idea is to create passive income to help you. Then accumulate savings in the short term in money markets. If you're saving in the bank, your money is losing 7% through inflation. In addition, it's losing excise tax that is being deducted from you anytime you withdraw money or anytime you do a transaction. So your short-term goals should be in your saving where you can be able to access them. So if you're keeping money in the bank, let's transfer it to a money market which you can help you open so that you can be able to take care of your short-term goals comfortably. Short-term goals, we're talking about between 6 to 1.5 years. So what is the ideal amount to take care of your short-term goals? It should be your current income multiplied by 18 months. 18 months means that in case you're not able to work or for some reason there's a transition in work, you can be able to comfortably maintain the standard of living for your family. Then the mid-term saving is in your circle where you have been able to keep money for a couple of years before retirement, and you can be able to borrow from it to be able to meet your midterm goals or midterm needs. So it's very important to identify a circle. However, a circle should only be through the common bond of a relationship. Do not open a circle where you do not have a common bond. Reasons being, a circle is through guarantorship. Your common bond will be the ones to sign for you. So if you are in a circle and you don't have anyone to sign for you, you'll be very frustrated. And a circle is not an investment plan. Why? Circles are managed by me and you. So if you get people who are not having integrity and they mismanage your circle, you'll end up losing your investment. So anytime you're in a circle, always plan to have a loan so that you can benefit from that circle and also to take care of your liability needs. Then the long-term cushion investments are now taking care of your pension. How you calculate pension is the 55 years minus the current years you're in. That period is the number of years you have to take care of your long-term needs for pension. Also, you also need to take care of to protect the risks that are within you. That is, we say that we are one health condition away from poverty. You could have been able to do a lot of investment, a lot of saving. Then one terrible disease causes you to sell all your investment to take care of that. So it's very important to get a health cover. And there are reasonable health covers that are there in the market. You can reach out to me to find out more. As little as 6,000 per year, the same value of an NHIF, you can get an inpatient only cover of 250,000. And you see that at the end of the day, what is 500 shillings for you? 500 shillings for you per month could be 25 shillings per day, and you've been able to take care of your family health. Also, in case anything should happen to you, and God forbid, an early death, have you seen how orphans who do not have benefits are treated? So it's very important to safeguard your children, safeguard your wife, safeguard your wealth. In case of an early death, there's life cover to take care of those children, educational policies. In addition, you have put your investment in a trust fund to be able to manage for the rest of generations after you. Contingency fund. These are emergency saving which you'll keep in the money market. In case you have an emergency, you'll be able to take care of. However, you need to define as a family, you and your spouse, what are emergencies that are related to you. Reason being, you find that your friends and family are mismanaging their finances, knowing that you are the ATM that will come and sort them. So please, from the word go, determine what are your emergency needs, so that those are the ones that will take you'll be able to borrow from your contingency fund, emergency fund to net off. Then debt. Dawa ya mkopo ni kulipa. So if you have debts, please pay your debts to be able to protect your finances, take care of your children's education, retirement needs are taken care of. Acquire good assets. There are assets that are not good, in the sense of, if you're not developing the asset and you've bought a piece of land that require rates on it, and it's not giving you back money, it's a liability to you. So acquire asset that will be able to bring passive income for you, for your peace of mind. Now you'll find out that there are very many people who want money from you. You'll find that when you get your income, as you see from that gentleman, he's very frustrated and he's anxious. When he gets his income at the end of that month, the Kenya Power and Lighting requires him to pay the electricity bill. Then the water bill are asking for a piece of him, the food, the kids' school fees, hospital being bank loans. Why you need to understand this is, you realize that when you get your income and you pay everyone else and not pay yourself, you will not grow. So, the first thing you need to do when you get your money is pay yourself first. Please understand, before you buy even a sweet, before you even pay your rent, because you're the one who works so hard for your finances. So, the first thing you need to do after you have gotten your money, remove the tithe. After the tithe, pay yourself first, and pay yourself first, say 30%. Then you'll be able to take care of everyone else. So in your budgeting, know that your budget should be, after you have paid yourself first, you have removed the 10%, 30%. Your budget should not exceed 60% of your monthly income. That is for a start. Once you get the discipline, we'll reduce that further to 50%, so that the other 10% we use it to look for an activity or a side business over and above our employment and business income, so that we can be able to try and get more passive income. We'll still continue. This graph, you'll continue seeing it about cycles of life. It is very important to know where you are at any one time, to be able to advise your financial position, so that it can help you with your financial goals. So always know where you are. For the childhood, they have a lot of responsibilities to be taken care of: the diapers, taking them to school, educating them, health cover. You need to know where they are, and the house and the members of your household and yourselves. And for you to know where the next stage of your life is, do not live like you do not have a tomorrow. Why? If you do not take care of your tomorrow, which is advised by your today, you'll end up disrupting your children's life, and that's not something you want. So if you're able to take care of the graph of your life, you'll live very long. But if you don't take care of the graph of your life, you'll be very disappointed, very bitter, very anguished. But if you do the things that we are telling you to do as advisors, there's no better serum like money. You'll be able to glow, you'll be able to sleep well and smile, because even the word of God says, money answereth all things. So take care of your money, and the money will take care of you. Now let's go to the stages of life. Because we've talked about the graph of life, you need to know at the stages of life where you are and where the members of your household are, so that you can better take care of them, and also better advise your finances. If you have member of your household who's below the age of 10, they are a certified consumer. All they do is eat, use, and all you do is pay their bills. They do not have an income coming in. It's you to sort them. And they are very vocal of what they need. And if you do not take care of their needs, they will pester you. They will remind you day and night of what they need until you take care of it. And for them, because of their innocence and because they are a gift from the Lord for our enjoyment, your income is a security to them so that they can be able to smile as this child is smiling, be able to get good education, get good cover for the vaccines and everything nice. So know thy household. What are the requirements that a child of below 10 and below require? You need a good health cover. You need to take care of their future, at their education savings in place. They're shopping for their clothes. You need to shop wisely, because here you'll realize they're growing very fast, and you'll start discarding things as like clothes and shoes before they are worn out because of their growth. So it's very important to be able to know this age, and it's very important to teach them about finances as early as this age. Why? I learned finances from my parents, and I remember my first financial exercise was at the age of 7, in class 1, where I was able to, with a pocket money of 5 shillings, was able to organize some 4 other girls. We are 5 girls, where we'll each keep 2 shillings, and every once a week each of us will have 10 shillings, and it was a lot of money back in the 90s, and we'll be able to buy snack and bring a gift home. So even for this age, teach them about finances, and you'll be very surprised. They'll be very willing to learn over and above the monopoly. Also, buy for them shares. Come, we open a money market junior account where they can be able to save something small while it's earning interest for them, and show them the status of their statement every month. Mama, whatever nickname you have given them, show them the advantage of earning interest, what you can do with interest and growth. And you'll realize that when they now get the big money, they'll be able to manage well. They'll not be shocked with money. After the 10 years old, we go to the teenagers. This stage, you have a lot of people who are opinionated. They know a little bit about money, and uh, they also have style. They also have an opinion of the kind of school they'd want to go to, the kind of clothes they would wear, the kind of gadgets you're going to buy them. So also you realize here, yes, they have an understanding of money, but also they're very much influenced by the social media, Instagram, by Snapchat and everything they're seeing. So you'll realize they have a bit of expensive taste. They have a preference for expensive things. They're still dependent on you, and they're a consumer, but this is a fertile ground to be able to teach them about money, so that they can be able to understand and value money. So please take care of this stage. Help them with reading financial books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon. If you're in the group, you can be able to get this from me, or if you can be able to mail me, my contacts will be shared at the end of this session. We'll be able to send you those books. Learn with them, read with them the books, help them and understand, and give them an allowance for them to manage. If it's those clothes, give them an allowance, so even for them to be able to see where they can be able to shop within their budget. Otherwise, it will be a disservice if you sort all their bills, because life is not about that. Life teaches you a lot of things. That money is not an infinite resource, but it is a capped resource that has to be managed well to be able to better their lives. The next one is, your children now are going to campus, they are leaving the nest, they are going to college. That is the 20s, they're young, free, and single, and they really don't care much. Here, they just want to start their life, to start education. So they're moving out, and they need to know how to set a budget. So it's very important to hold their hand, help them to learn about what budget means, planning for meals, planning for food, and also time management. So it's very key to take care of this class of your household in their 20s. They are very impatient, and they want your life at their stage. So help them to be patient with money, and help them to understand that money has value, and whatever they have, to develop it further, and encourage them to also make money of their own. In as much as they are in college, help them to look for gaps, request them to see opportunities and capture them, so that they can also be able to make money for themselves. They can be able to to sell foodstuffs to their other fellow students, some clothes. Let them see the gaps, because in the gaps, that's where opportunities are to make more money. The next stage, may find most of you are there. This is the expansion stage. You're growing a family, your career is growing. There are radical decisions you need to make, like where you're taking your children to school, who you're going to marry, how is that wedding gonna look like. This is now you're starting projects, and now you're starting to get serious about money, because you only have 5 years, the end of youth at 35 now, to enter into the wazee circle. So it's very important to manage your finances well here. And if you're lucky, willing to be married, you have two incomes in your household that you're managing. Now, this one is critical. It's a very critical stage. However, it should be advised by good faith of the character of the spouse that you have married, that if the person you have married in good faith and you understand and you are transparent to each other about your finances, try and live in one income of your finances, and use then the other income purely to invest and to save. This will be able to help you manage a lot of milestones faster. And we also teach about couple finance. You can reach out to us. This is now where you take educational policies to safeguard your children. You are now taking responsibility of taking care of your aging parents, or you have young siblings that you're taking care of. You need to create a contingent fund so that you take care of the emergency outcomes that may come up, because now you're a full adult and society is depending on you, and even your employer is depending on you. However, you must better your finances to create passive income. After that stage, you realize now you're in your 40s. Now, this is the big budget. This is the big budget. Your children are growing real fast. More responsibilities are coming in, and retirement is also nearing. So you have to be very vigilant on how your finances are, because so many responsibilities are looking at you. You're also not fully satisfied with your life. You're having midlife crisis. You do not understand yourself also. So financial planning is a must for all. So this is where most responsibilities are. So at your 40s, we call it heavy duty. There's a lot that are weighing on your shoulders, but it can be managed. Take care of your finances. We are here for you. Now, the 50s, you're empty nesters. It's pre-retirement. The empty nesters at the 50s, there are different shades. You're preparing for your children. Your children are getting married. You need to take care of your own. You're almost taking care of your own medical bills, and also if you have senior citizens in your life, you're fully taking care of them. Probably even they have moved into your home, and you're fully supporting others. So you should, at their 50s, you should enter into a good medical cover. Why? Because you realize in medical insurances, if you reach the age of 16 retirement, it becomes very, very expensive. But if you're in the scheme when you're in your 40s and you're transitioning into full retirement, the fees are still manageable, and there'll not be very many uh, things like with chronic illnesses. There'll not be very many deductions or reductions, because you're already in the scheme. So 50s, be very careful. Prepare for retirement well. Do not wait until you have retired to prepare for your retirement. Plan, so you can be able to maximize your retirement very well. Now, in your 60s, you are fully retired, and you are retired but also active. It's called the retired active stage. You can still work, but not as like in your 50s. Here now in your 60s, your active income has reduced as compared to your 50s, and you realize that you're busy on the road. You're the one who's called upon to preside over events for wedding ceremony, for negotiation ceremony. Now you have entered the council of elders. So you're a citadel of experience and wisdom. This is where you find people who are in the active working sector are setting up consultants to be able to bring others up, because they have a wealth of experience, and it's a totally new and exciting road. It's easier if you have finances. Hearing now, the 70s, our seniors, here it is an opportunity to grow older and enjoy the company of your spouse. Here it's just holding hands. You cannot actively do much. You're just enjoying you're fully retired here, and you're enjoying whatever you have saved and the passive incomes you had created. Here you're just spewing out your knowledge and the history for the family and wisdom. So here at the 70s, you get to enjoy what you had saved. If you had not saved, it's very tricky. And the government has only planned 2,000 for you from the age of 70 when finances are there. When they're not there now, you have to go back to your children, start asking for black tax. But you're wiser now. We are here to be able to assist you so that is not the case for you. So it's very important to understand every stage of your life. Now, you need to know, as financial planners, we cannot plan for money that is not there. You have to have income. And here we now look at the income streams that are there. If you're an employee, you have an employer who's paying you an income, an active income every end of the month. If you're a business owner, you have set up a system where people are working for you and they're able to create profits for you to enjoy. Then for self-employed, the difference between self and business is self-employed, you're everything. You are the accountant, you are the janitor, you are the cook, you're everything in your business. So the self-employed, you have to agree to pay yourself a salary. Otherwise, you'll realize you'll eat your business. So it's very important for you to balance and take care of your self-employment while paying your salary and not eating your business. So you have to have those things separated. An investor is what we coming to help you to do, is for you to invest with us, create a passive income where your money is creating more money for you while you are not lifting a finger. Now, you need, how do you create a personal budget? We have agreed you cannot create a budget with zero income. You have to create an income. Now, how you create a personal budget is make a to-do list. Write down everything you expect to spend money on every month, your rent, your grocery, entertainment. Then look at the past. How have you been spending that money? Your past will be able to advise your current and your future so that you can see where you're spending it on things that you do not really require or you can do without. And then also control your spending. If you find there's something in your expenditure that is high, you can start reducing it. Evaluate your spending. Review. You remember I told you to have a financial date once a month with yourself to plan for the budget for the next month. Review the budget for the previous month so that you can see where you're growing. Identify any issues that you need to take care of or any risks that you have not taken care of, such as healthcare, such as lack of a contingency fund, lack of taking care of your children in case you're not there, educational policies, retirement, and then you're able to meet the gap. Now, we have three types of budgets. When you are creating a budget, we have the budget where all the money that you get have you have given them, you have been able to account for them, and you have been able to give them work or an assignment. That's a balanced budget. You can be able to account for everything. So all the expenses and all the income are balanced. You can be able to account and they fit throughout. Then, meaning everything it's zero, so there's no pending expense that is not accounted for, and the income has also sorted it. Then we have a surplus budget where your expenses far are below your income and your income is very high. This is the ideal situation where you have a surplus income. A deficit budget is where you're using debt to manage your life and it's not sustainable and it has a lot of anxiety and stress. So we should all aim to have a surplus budget. Then we go to zero based budget. Zero based budget is that all your income, there's nothing that you have not accounted for. You can be able to see where every coin has been able to go, and that's the ideal situation to see where every income has gone. All right. So from the zero based budget, we go now to the recommended, where every income that you get, remove 10%, bring all the tithes to the storehouse of the Lord, give out to where you fellowship in your church, so that you may test the Lord in this. And the tithe is supposed to help ensure the rest of your income, and it will help you grow. So After you have removed the tithe, you divide it by whatever is left, you divide it by 3. 3 means that the first 30% I told you about is pay yourself first. 10% emergency saving, where we keep in a money market, which should be higher than the inflation rate. Currently, the average money market we're giving at is at 13% interest rate per annum, compared to the inflation rate of 7%. Have 10% going to your children's campus saving. Why do we emphasize on children campus saving? Because that's where your children are able to acquire a skill to be able to better themselves. Then 10% towards your retirement saving. Then your basic needs should not exceed 30%. That you should not live in a house that is more than 20% rent. Your food should not exceed 10%, so that you can be able to manage your expenses. Then the last 30%, we call it lifestyle. Lifestyles means 5% should go towards your parents and guardians, who took care of you, who raised you. 2.5 should go towards your community. These are the people who you work with, your gang. Why it's important to be a loyal friend and an intentional friend in your finances. They are the people who will be able to call your name in the boardroom where opportunities are. So it's very important to be intentional to provide for your community. This for weddings, for funerals, anything that relates to your community in 2.5. Then 2.5 should go towards the poor. Why do you give money to the poor? So that you lend to the Lord. It's very important and has a special financial blessing when you give to the poor. Then 10% should go to your grooming and clothes. So it should not exceed that. It can reduce, but it should not exceed that. Then 10% should go towards your transport and means of getting to your place of business. All right. So the 30%, now we'll find that, as we agreed, 18 months of your monthly income should be the target of your 10% emergency saving, keeping it in a money market that is compounding for you. Your children's savings 10% should first of all start with saving for campus. Why? This is where they get skills, and that's your responsibility as a parent to skill up your children so that they can be able to get an income. So you start with saving for your children's campus, and you bear me witness, currently the government is not funding your children's campus needs. It is your responsibility. If you do not do it, when the government gives out that money, it will come with an interest. Immediately they start dispersing that money. So you do not want your children finishing campus with a loan. So be responsible for them now. Then 10% to your retirement. And if you're in your 30s with a retirement savings plan, you'll find you'll be able to get good passive income for any amount you give. From 10 years, we give you back a return of 40% ROI. 15 years, 60% ROI. 20 years and above, we give 80 to 90% return on investment. Why is it higher at the 20 years? Because that time you have been able to compound your money, and your money has been able to work for you. But if you're nearing your retirement, you realize the return on investment are not as high. So you'll be able to get around 40%. So determine where you are, reach out, and we can be able to help you to better your finances. And when you're keeping for retirement, make sure you're keeping in a place where there's no taxes, so that you can maximize your income fully. The next one, we talked about the rental for your upkeep. Do not exceed 20%, including water, electricity, service charge, trash. All that should be within your 20%. The beauty of living in Africa, there is a budget for everyone. Your 20%, there is room for you. So work within your budget. 10%. The same thing with food, depending on where you shop. There's a budget for everyone, and there's a venue where you can be able to meet that food within that budget. So as you have seen, we have shown the picture of the home. It's a beautiful home. You have seen the supermarket. You don't have to shop in the supermarket. Be wise. Shop where it fits your budget. Then lifestyle. It's very important to honor your father and mother. Why? So that it may be well with you, you may live long. Your net worth is your network. They're the ones who will call you for deals. They're the ones who will mention your names and help you go up in your career ladder. So take care of them. Take care of your network. Be an intentional friend, and you'll see it working for you. Give to the poor. The poor should be people who are not related to you. It should not be your relatives. It should be given in secret so that the Lord will bless you in the open. You can identify an orphan or a widow or a children, so whichever the Lord leads you, and be intentional about taking care of the society. And also for clothes, the beauty with living here is that you can always fit your budget. Look for where it fits your budget, and you'll be very happy. So there are two ways to implement a personal budget: is having a digital spreadsheet by having everything in an Excel, or where you can physically, the digital budget means you'll be paying through M-Pesa, you'll be paying through the bank, and then from there you'll be able to navigate and track down all your expenses. Or you can do the cash envelope method, where you keep your money in different envelopes, and from the different envelopes they'll be able to be removing money physically to meet your need. So, savings, all the rest of this will be able to catch up in the next bit. I want now to be able to take in your questions, and I'd want Dr. Jem to go to the last slide where it's showing my contacts, so that if you're not able to get the information now, you can inbox me, or leave your number, or the number in the chat, so that we can be able to reach out to you, or write down your email. We can be able to engage further and reach out to you. So, Dr. Jem, over to you, please. What questions can we be able to take care of? Dr. Jem? All right, let's see. I have a question here where Bridget is saying, no. Karita is asking, how do I train a 5-year-old to be responsible and start saving? Is by playing with them. Start playing with them Monopoly. Start telling them. They hear very well. They are very good listeners. And also look for programs they can learn about money. Go to them to supermarket. Give them a budget. You know the way they are cranky? Give them a budget. Even if it's 100 shillings or 50 shillings, tell them that whatever you can be able to get for that amount of money is what you're going to buy. And even when you go to the till, let them be the one paying with whatever amount you have agreed, so that they can start getting a sense of handling money. So start teaching them. Also talk to them, they listen. Even if you look at all those notable people with good careers, they started at that young age, and the children hear and listen. As I told you, my first investment was at 7 years with 4 other little girls that I was able to bring together. It's from what I would see at home and what my parents were teaching me. So it's doable, Karita. Are infrastructure bonds better than money market? Know why you're doing what you're doing. Do not go to infrastructure bond for only the investment interest bit first. Why? Because you'll realize infrastructure bond are usually long term, and you'll find when you have to sell it, you will miss out on the interest for that infrastructure bond, meaning you'll have to sell it less than how you bought it. So if you're trying to invest for long term perspective, it may help you. However, money market helps you to accumulate money for taking care of your emergency needs and immediate needs, because that money is accessible to you within 48 hours, which is different from an infrastructure bond. So when you're working with a financial coach and um, a life coach, you'll be able to see what needs you have, and then from those needs, we'll be able to advise what is best for you. However, it's important to have a balanced portfolio and see what fits where, so that you can be able to grow your finances. Over to you, Dr. Jem. I see we are out of time. Celeste, you wanted a budgeting template? Reach out. We can be able to. I'll be able to share with you further on that. We'll be able to um, to net it off. Look for me, Celeste. There are my contacts. We'll be able to hear more, and I'll help you with that 30K income. Dr. Jem, we have 30 seconds. Karibu sana, Dr. Jem. Daktari. You're very welcome, Karita. You're very welcome, Winnie, Celeste, Karen, She. You're very welcome. Dr. Jem, are you there? Hello. All right. It's been a great pleasure having you all here, ladies. I hope to meet up again next week, same time. Keep it locked from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Next week, we're going to learn about retirement, how you plan for your retirement, and more about savings and investment and why you need to save and invest to better your today, tomorrow, and years after you. 2 generations after you are depending on you. So be blessed and take care. Bye bye.